Today we're going to make Manhattan clam chowder. I've been out west 3.5 years and I've yet to find it in a restaurant or a diner or any place. And while I like New England clam chowder, this is my favorite and it's also a lot healthier. It's very easy to make. I acquired this gigantic can of clams, which we're going to drain because there's an awful lot of salt in here. I got this at Smart and Final. If you don't have one of those nearby, you can buy these size clams in every supermarket. You're going to need probably 6 or 7 cans for that. Because we're going to drain off most of that juice, I've got 2 jars of clam juice, some oregano, which is very important to Manhattan clam chowder, some black pepper, 1 onion, a couple of stalks of celery, which we're going to dice, a couple of carrots, which we're also going to dice, 2 cans of diced tomatoes in juice, and that's what sets Manhattan clam chowder apart, is the tomatoes. Some baby gold potatoes, which I'm going to cube up, and I don't really remember ever having the taste of garlic in Manhattan clam chowder. Some people have it in their recipes, so I have garlic powder here. You're more than welcome to use it at the end if you decide. I'm probably not going to add any to this. So that's all of it. Now I just have to start opening some cans. But first, let me show you. I have here in the pot some salt pork, and I've cut off most of the excess fat. So we're going to cook this until it's crisp. You can use bacon, or you can eliminate this completely. It's not necessary, and if you don't want it, this dish is vegetarian and pescatarian. So the pork is entirely optional. So let me get to opening these cans and preparing the vegetables, and this will all go together very quickly. All right, I prepped all my vegetables, and let me put the light on here. There we go. And you can see we've got these pieces of salt pork in there. I'm going to fry these until they get pretty crisp. If you're going to omit this step, you can use a little oil in there, a little olive oil. This will take a couple of minutes. Now I drained the excess liquid from those clams. I reserved some of it, but it's very salty. You will almost certainly not have to add any salt to this soup. You can at the end, but for right now, don't even think about it. These have crisped up pretty good. They didn't give up much fat, which is a good thing. I only want them with a little bit of flavor. I'm going to remove them. It's going to be a very happy little dog here in a few minutes when they cool down. I don't leave them in the soup. If you want to use bacon and leave it in the soup, feel free. To each his own. Since they didn't give up much fat, I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil. Just a little like that. I'm going to go in with my carrots and onions, which have been diced. My hands are clean. I'm going to saute that a little bit for a while, along with diced potatoes. Saute them for a couple of minutes until they're starting to soften. Good already. I'm going to add some black pepper here. Again, I would not put salt in this until it's done and then taste it for salt. You have a lot of salt in the clams and the broth. Okay, sway those a little bit. We'll go in with the clam juice. This is also pretty salty, so again, watch the salt when you make this. The tomatoes, juice and all. One of the very last things that's going to go in this is the clams, because they're pre-cooked when they're canned, and so they just need to be heated through in here. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the reserved juice that I strained away from the thing. Put a little bit of this in here. This is really salty, so I'm not going to use all of it. What I am going to do is add 2 cups of water. This is actually 4 cups of water. I'm going to have a lot of broth. Got that. Go ahead and go in with the celery. That's pretty much it. We're going to let that come to a boil, and then we're going to simmer it until the potatoes are cooked, and then we'll go in with the clams. All right, this has been cooking at a fast simmer for about 35 to 40 minutes. The potatoes are softened, and it's just about done. It cooked down quite a bit, and I tasted it. It's not very salty, so I'm going to use a little bit more of that clam juice from the can. And I'm also going to add another cup of water, or 2 cups of water. And now we can put the clams in. This is going to be a very clammy clam chowder, which is the way I want it. Remember, these clams are cooked when they're canned, so you just want to cook them here for a minute or 2. You don't want they get tough and rubbery if you cook them too long. So once it comes back up to a boil, I'm going to turn the heat up again. I'm going to let it cook for about 2 minutes, and that's all. And I'm going to add about a full tablespoon of oregano. When you use oregano, you want to do this, and it releases the essential oils of the dried oregano. Oh, it smells so good. And I'm going to do one more thing that I didn't mention in the beginning. It's kind of an old diner trick. Give it a shot of ketchup. Not a lot, just a little. There you go. And this is essentially done. I'm going to let it cook for another minute or so. Might want to put some more oregano in it. I'm going to taste it again for salt. That's good. That is really good. Now it's a little salty, but it's supposed to be a little salty. I'm going to go in with a little more oregano because I like the oregano in this. So that's it. We're going to let this come back up to a boil, and I'm going to turn the heat off, and we are done. And I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't had Manhattan clam chowder in a couple of years. It's kind of weird to be cooking soup in June in Arizona, but I'm a weird person. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you make this. I hope you enjoy it. I certainly am going to. If you did like the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Smash that big red button and click that bell. And comment on the video if you would. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.